Man, just woke up, about to go to the gym. In 2 minutes, well, 7 o'clock. Wanted to go to work today, but unfortunately they never called me in, so. I have no idea. It's been one of those fucking days. But yeah, what I was talking about before I crashed out, took a nap and that. I think everybody deals with the same things. You're just like those overly traumatized people. Not just a little bit of drama, not the accurate drama of what's happening, but that over pushing drama shit that people do. Shit's just annoying, man. You want to live life with the least amount of friction ever. Right? You want to live life as happy as possible without all this, negativity, drag to hell type shit. And I understand. Some people don't want that kind of life. They want to live life on the edge, but they're still happy people, But some people, when they live life like they can't do nothing right. And a lot of times because they don't do anything at all. I say, like most people live like children. They don't want to take responsibility over certain things. And it's all about learning. We learn all this shit. People don't want to say that it is. It's about fucking learning, guys. Everyone deserves to learn. But I had something in my mind that when I woke up and that, after I fully woke up, and I was listening to one of my managers and that, when the whole incident happened, I was just like, the reason why these turn events keep happening is because no one's disciplining people. When people get all emotional, she gets doing all this pussyfoot emotion stuff. I said, this is the reason why men work and women don't. Because if men see other emotional men, then men are going to tell those men to grow up and grow some fucking balls and say, hey bro, you got testicles and you need to stop being such a bitch. You need to stop complaining, you just need to do your job. If it's something that's actually important, that's like physically fucking with you and that, and someone's being actual harassment. See, people take harassment as something that's very small, and they make it really fucking big. So it's not even like anything bad, but they want to say, oh, people did this, people that. It doesn't matter what people did, it matters what happened at that time. So you get the police police. You get the speech police. They like to speech police everybody. They like to put in their own imaginary laws and that, and then they want to say freedom of speech is dead. I said, how's freedom of speech dead? You're speaking freely now, and you're a fucking woman speaking freely. Other countries, you literally could not work. You be at home, having kids and raising babies and making food for father to come home, and get treated like absolute shit because of the bylaws that some of these third world countries, or even most of these countries, seem to have, that don't have actual good law systems or good constitutions. And you women are like the first ones that sit there and say, Pakistan's good. Pakistan's terrible. Venezuela's good. Venezuela's terrible. When people live in a dictatorship, a lot of people leave those places to join with America. Because no one fucks with America. Venezuela's fucking pussy ass leader is sitting there trying to do all this stuff and that and acting like, oh, it's all political. He's trying to get all of his people against them. Yeah, and they all side with the liberal people. The Middle Eastern people, the terrorist organizations, the people that just don't like America on that, they always side with liberals. They always vote for liberal people. It was an interview, and the guy said literally, he's like, yeah, we do that because we know liberal people don't do shit. They don't stand for nothing. They do a whole bunch of random crap that doesn't mean anything. They don't actually do anything. They just talk. They're all in it for themselves, and you can tell by the way they talk about it. You have moron people, man. People believe AOC. AOC has an IQ of fucking like 10. She's a fucking moron. She speaks out of her gigantic Latino ass that every guy wants to put a dong in. That's the problem. People manipulate through emotions a lot. And when they don't get what they want, they yell and fucking scream and get really fucking angry. But I say this to people that are like that, is when push comes to shove, you would be the last one in the fight. You would sit there and back down 100% if someone got pissed off enough and went right into your face and literally told you to fuck off and go fuck yourself and see how people react to it. Because that's one of the things I kind of talked about at work and that. I was just, having a discussion with the manager in the back there because we were just talking about that. And he was just like, he doesn't want me to be mad now. Like, I'm not mad, but I just want to tell you straight up. If I was a complete asshole of a man, I said there's no one in this place that can fucking stop me from fucking beating the fuck out of someone just because of how ignorant they are towards me. This was the fucking 80s and 70s. People be getting fist fights a lot more. But a woman wouldn't dare to fucking talk down to a man, first off, older and twice her fucking size, just because she's an ignorant prick with a fucking nose piercing. Got the septum piercing, thinks that she rules the world by the power of the septum piercing. Because they're all a bunch of witch pagan fucking whores that believe in this, all this ritual bullshit. Yeah, you're all a bunch of pagan slut fucking Satanists. That's all I can say. You're wicked, get the fuck out of here. You're so negative. Your breath is like a negative reaction to the fucking air. It's like you just burst out in fucking negativity as soon as I walk in. You talk about everything that happens. And you put a negative spin on everything. You say, people need to order faster. You don't know how to order. All this like shit. And it's just like, dude, shut the fuck up. Just shut the fuck up. Tell people that they don't know how to order. Well, you don't know how to live your life. You have a pointless life. These people at least drive, or at least have a job that they maintain focus on. They're just coming in here to get food, and you want to fucking act like you're the police of life itself. That's what you satanic prick whores do. Man or female. You want to think that what you think is how the world should operate. The world doesn't operate based upon what you think. No, how the world operates based upon what God thinks, not what you think. You're a puny ass little mortal person that has the lowest amount of influence in the world now because you don't have a lot of friends because of the fucking attitude that you have. That's the reason why people don't fucking like you. They deal with you because they have to work with you. I couldn't hang out with you outside of work because there'd be no point. Because all I was here is blah, 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 nagging, making fucking hating on everybody and that. And if I ask why you hate on people so much, because people need to be like this, I say, and you're like something? No. So as we're talking that, I kind of told him, I was like, no one can stop me if I want to be a complete fucking dick in there and get in her face and yell and fucking scream. She wouldn't do nothing. She tried to be like, I'm going to call the police. She'll do the coward way out. And I'm like, okay, well, do everything you can. The guy's gonna be like, I got an altercation then. She threatened me, so I told her to fuck off, and I got mad at her. Like she's been a terrible fucking influence in this place for a while now. A lot of people complain about that. She's threatening people multiple times before and got mad at people, yelling at people for no damn reason. That saying things that weren't true, which is utter fucking slander and that. But no one does anything because we're trying to just leave, like you leave it alone and it eventually goes away. But normally, I personally don't have to deal with it because normally it never comes back on me. But that day, yesterday, it did, and I was furious. And like our GM was there, and you know she was there for a little bit in that, and she was sitting there trying to teach a new person that, and she wasn't even doing anything. She was doing everything for the person. All they were doing is talking. She was talking, doing like the girl talking that. They're all laughing about just random shit. I'm like, you know, you're supposed to be training that person for the last like hour and a half. This person has been here since like 6 or 5. And you leave at 11. You haven't taught them anything. And we were busy. All they did was grab bags. She did everything for her. I'm like, yeah, that's how women are, you know, when it comes down to training that, like, I'm more superior than you, so I'm not gonna teach you anything. You just watch me work in the fabulous sense of life. I don't want to watch you work. That's but anyway, so the manager got to me, kind of told me that something. He's like, yeah, it's like, they weren't even training, and I heard like, are you training this person in that? Because it doesn't seem like this person's even doing anything. You're just sitting there just talking your ass off and doing this superiority bullshit. And so, I'm like, means to an end. She says, I'm gonna stop working. And I was like, okay, bye. We got 2 other people that are coming in right now that are doing your job. Literally. It's like, if you want to leave, leave. We can have our overnight crew train them. And they do a good job because they don't sit there and gossip all damn day long. Like this new person that literally like talks with everybody is playful, happy, loving. This person, the other person's negative, downing, and I'm not saying the person's always negative, but it always comes down to it. Anything that hits her mind, she just reverbs negativeness unless she's either fucking high or if it's making fun of somebody. Like she'll down her own sister every day of the fucking damn week and, you know, say all this stuff about her and that. When it comes down to her, it's just like, yeah, it's like, woman, you're kind of a piece of shit person. Like literally, you're like a piece of shit person. And like everybody's talking about it. And it's very interesting that every workplace I think that most people work at, you always deal with 1 or 2 people that are just like this. They're super fucking negative. They're fucking bitchy. They complain a lot about just random shit. They're always trying to like have a leg up on everybody and say, I do more than you. I do more than this, do more than that. But the thing is, like, they do the bare minimum. And they'll do one thing really fucking good, and that's fucking it. They do one thing really good, and they think they've done everything fucking amazing. And I said, yeah, you can work good, but your attitude's bad. And attitude is a discipline you should have learned when you were younger. And now that you're older, you know, getting close to your mid-20s, you should just calm down and just do your job. You're making it seem like, this is the biggest effect that I've noticed about a lot of people that do these shenanigans and that.
What would you like to do?
They'll sit there and act like they're the only ones that do things.
Feel free to stop by anytime.
And
hello there.
When we kind of like go through these things, man, I'm always like, Okay, I still get all the same skills. Okay, that's cool. Let's do... I don't want you for it. Let's do looks like it was what's this one? Okay, that's the one I just saw. Try that one out. But yeah, like, we were all talking about that. Like, I was talking to individual people about that because they noticed that I was upset about it, and they're just like, this person doesn't shut up, they don't do things we do. And I was like, yeah, you know, it's the same bullshit, you know, and so my manager was like, I don't know why she's like this. Like, she's always so fucking hateful. Like, everyone could joke around with her, but as soon as you do it, she hates on you because you talk to her. I'm like, I don't know. She's just a fucking idiot. That's all I can say. It's like, I don't make up the rules of how dumb people are, man. I just dish out whatever people give to me. That's all I do. People do stupid ass shit, I just go with it until we get to the point where it's like, yep.
Emergency!
How about some of this? Emergency! Code! Arrest!
Yeah, that's just how it is.
Congratulations on completing the objective.
Completed!
No! Fuck! Okay. Now time for me to go. I'm gonna talk a little bit more. I got like 17 more minutes left. Gotta get a chit chat in. I'm getting ready to get dressed. But yeah. It always comes down to the same fucking bullshit things, and the more I fucking talk about it, the more I start to get into, like, what's wrong with people? Like, it's like, you should be happy that you have a good life, that life is working out for you. It all comes down to what you believe in. If you believe in being happy and being cheerful and that, you're going to be cheerful in that. This is what I always suggest. Jesus Christ is the best way to being happy. Because when you read the Bible, especially in Corinthians, when you actually read about what Paul was sending to the Corinthians about how to be, he was really specific on how people should be, who you should stay away from, and that. And this was through the Word of God. God talks about, don't go being with a drunker, a slumber, a gossiper, a liar. He talks about the 7 deadly sins. These 7 deadly sins are the reasons the things that people should stay with. Like, people that are prideful. It's not saying you're proud of your life. It's not about being proud of something. Pridefulness is more or less likely you never want to learn anything new. You want to keep on doing the same things because you think and you assume that what you're doing is 100% right. That means that you think that you're perfect. And this is why these people are. The person I'm talking about, she's very prideful. She doesn't think she does anything wrong to a certain extent. It's not to say that she doesn't remorse over things when her emotions eventually calm down after she gets upset. I'm sure she does. I'm sure, she'll sit there, and for all I know is, I believe her sibling, her older sibling that I work with also, probably talked to her about that. I have no problem with her. She never is a complete fucking bitch, but I could see the constant, back and forth that they do in their house. Because they both are very, very judgmental for what people say. And they always talk about people in a very negative way. And it kind of blows my mind, so I'm sitting there thinking to myself, like, why the fuck are you just so damn negative? Like, I don't understand your negativity. Like, you'll say these things about people, and most likely, it's factually not even true. You're just saying stuff. And when you just say stuff just to say stuff without a lot of like evidence behind it, you're second guessing. Now, if you say this is my opinion on certain things, like if someone said something and you can like talk about it, that's fine. There's nothing wrong with talking about an issue that actually happened. But like if someone says to me that I have an ego, I'm like, ego means pride. I'm like, and then I hear it because I overheard this person say that. I say, you think I have an ego in that? Because I don't listen to you. I'm like, that's the problem. Your job is to say, if I'm at work and that my manager says that I have an ego because they don't want to do stuff that I'm commanding you to do all this stuff that I'm saying, but well, you could do it too. I said, go down on you to do it too. I shouldn't have to tell you to do something when you've been here longer than me to do it. You know what I mean? So, these are the sort of things that people actually do at work. But I only go with what I work with. All the managers I work with, they all do their jobs as perfect as they could do it. At certain times of the day that they start, doing certain things and I clean up certain things, that they start doing their jobs quite well. But then other times that, when we get in a slump of that, sometimes I kick in and I do stuff faster than usual to get stuff done. I put things on a timing schedule and that because I like to do that. Sometimes people abuse that help. And they'll say, hey, why don't you go do the stuff from that? I'm going to go in the bathroom for 15 fucking minutes. And they go to the bathroom for 15 minutes and they fuck off and then it's done. They're like, well, I don't have to do it now. I say, well, so basically you could have just done it and then went to the bathroom and I could have done something else. Like, you're disrespecting people by being like that. And this is an energy drink I have. It's kicking in really good. It's got grilling my energy drink. This shit's actually really fucking good. It works really well. But yeah. And so, but this person can be critiqued. And that's what I like. It's little things. And it's never anything big. It's little things. And the fact that, she has like a little crush on me because we always work together on, Sundays and Mondays and that. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to be friendly towards you. I have nothing against you. You have to critique each other at work because we're all working together for a reason. We're trying to become family now. And you can't trust family unless you critique each other and actually get the actual truth out of what's going on. But when you try to critique people that don't want to be critiqued, that don't want to be disciplined, they sit there and they literally just freak the fuck out. So one of the things I wanted to say, the person I interacted with the other day, they got all pissy at me, whatever the fuck it was. When my boss was talking to her, this is for psychology, I'm nothing against this person at all. But the mindset of how this person reacted to the word discipline, she went into a raging, she freak out mode. What I mean by freak out mode, temper tantrum. It's like, if I ever tell a person, no, don't do that because it's not good for you to do that because it's affecting other people and other people are sitting there looking at you and you're getting, say, bad comments on you because people come around and you're being all bitchy and shit 24/7 against everybody. And you tell them, no, you can't do that. What's the response that most people normally give? They're like, okay, I'm sorry, Nat, I won't do that again, I need to work on myself. The response to this person is, she'd say it this, and this is what really kind of got me to the point of this person's just psychologically kind of broken. That whatever she's been through in her life and that, she hasn't recovered from. I said, well, a person like you shouldn't work in customer service, or you shouldn't work like that. You should be a front counter person. You do lobbying and that. You shouldn't be really interacting. You gotta keep to yourself a little bit. And she said, I quote from my manager, that And if anyone lays a hand on me, I'm gonna, you know, freak out or whatever it is. That's what she thought discipline was. I said, girl, this ain't the 90s, and you couldn't survive the 90s the way that you act, because you wouldn't be acting like that. Your mommy, you know, back then, your daddy would have whooped your fucking ass. If you were in your 20s in the 80s and 90s, you wouldn't be the same way you are now. People that are born from 2000 and they start growing up in the early 2000s to the like mid 2000s, you know, like 2015 or 2010, that when internet started coming out, and that you start getting involved with that stuff. We had so many law changes about abuse, saying you couldn't whip your fucking kids and that. No, your kids should get punched in the fucking face or slapped in the face. Yeah, at least slapped. Yeah. If your kid does something wrong, depending on female or male, they should be disciplined. Males should be disciplined a little bit tougher than females. But a female should get her ass fucking spanked. They should get spanked with discipline. It's a fine line. I got my ass fucking whooped. You know, I done stuff, and I stopped doing stuff like that. I mean, there's some things I do and that, you know, but I try to look at from, you know, we can't just do whatever we want to do. There's just consequences to the actions that we make. There's always consequences to all the actions that we make. And it's hard to figure out, okay, how can we deal with this? Do it for yourself. I discipline myself to a certain extent. And I try to talk to people, and people say, oh, my life's so hard. And I say, well, what do you do? Well, I play games all day, and I smoke weed or whatever it is, and they're always talking about being drunk or being stupid, and I'm like, okay, so you do absolutely nothing before you go to work. You have all this entertainment and excitement before you go to work, and you just like, you always do that stuff and that. Okay, cool, you know what? You do nothing that makes your life actually better. You just basically you're just living. You're not actually trying to produce anything. Try to change anything, try to make things better. It's what we call a coaster. You're the one on the lazy river just laying around bitching. That's basically what I call people like that. You're the lazy river person. You want to complain about all the people that are not in the lazy river, actually trying to be more active. The divers and the swimmers and that, and the runners and the athletic people that are actually trying to produce more money, try to produce a better life for themselves. The other ones who's like, oh, you guys are just wasting your time and that, and you're all farting in the fucking water and that, drinking your beer, smoking your blunt and that, and acting like life is so great for you. But deep inside your heart, and that, you want to be like those people. But why don't you want to get out of it? Because it's your guiding point. You don't have any good guiding points. You live life on a very, like, low spectrum, to where your motivation is very low. You don't see the point of doing anything because you think life is pointless. But you still want to be alive and to have the most entertaining stuff in life, which is getting high all day and smoking weed and being stupid, partying every now and again, doing a bunch of silly-ass, childlike stuff. And then you want to think that, you know, the world should evolve around you because you exist. So if the world evolved around you because you exist, then why aren't things changing based upon what you say, man? I have to say that to people. So why is it not changing? And they'd be like, well, what do you mean? It's like, well, you think you're the only one that exists. This is what I don't like about the Christ conscience thing. When you believe that you're something higher up than what you are, where's the proof that? Like, you have no proof. You live in a fucking state of mind that's fucking retarded, okay? You live in a dumb state of mind. You want to talk like you're intelligent? You can talk like you're intelligent all you want. You can have a bunch of nonsense knowledge and know absolutely fucking actually nothing. There's so many people out there that are like, they know stuff, but it's pointless shit. It doesn't do nothing. It doesn't change their life. It doesn't do anything. And I talk to people like this person, Matt, and like we talk to Matt, and they just like say stuff that doesn't make any fucking sense. Like, what are you talking about? I get it that you're trying to figure out stuff. Here's what it is. Say, like, if people watch a lot of anime and that, watch anime. Okay? Watch any anime that is remotely correct with the male and female ratio of how people should be. All males, most likely, are all, most likely, heroic people, or the evil, villainous people. Every male's always got heroic. The main character of most stories in that are always heroic as fuck. They always get girls. They always get, you know, the hot chick with the big tits and that. They always get what they want. But they don't want it. They don't want the sexual stuff and that, but they end up getting it anyway. I said, why is that? Is it because women like masculine men? They like men that take charge? But you look how those women treat those men. They treat those men like shit, but they always give in. They always bend over and get the fucking booty and that going and out and the guy and that. Why? Because that's how real life is. Real life is exactly like that. These women bitch and fucking moan, but when that hot guy comes around and their pheromones are high enough, those fucking bend over and get dick all day long. And they'll praise that man for giving them the best dick ever. And then they think that it's going to be an actual relationship. And the guy's just like, I don't even know you. You just came over, you just found me on Facebook. And you just said, hey, come over. And you showed me how hot you are. And I'm like, okay, I'll come over now. And so, we talked. And all of a sudden, you start fucking sucking my dick. And yes, it does happen because it happened with me. With my ex before we even started actually dating that. When you're in private with people, they act a hell of a lot different than they do in real life. And that's just the scary thing about it. I remember like it was yesterday when you butt ass nigga on top of me, their fat little titties all hanging out and that, her big ass booty was sitting there shifting around in circles and that. She popped on top of me and started fucking getting me all aroused and shit. And she just did it because she wanted to get laid. I'm like, just go fucking masturbate. It's not the same. Like, then go actually get in a relationship with me and fucking earn the fucking dick. You're not earning the dick because you fucking flop out that big old booty, man, and be like, oh, you should do stuff with me. I said, most guys who do anything for that, because they're like that. But guys like me, I was raised better than that, and I don't act like that. I talk like a pervert, because talk is cheap. But like, what's happening with, going back to the anime thing, I watched an anime called Twin Exorcist or something like that. And like, the guy's a hero, part of the hero clan that. And he's housing like the old demon lord, his daughter and that, and her servant succubus or whatever it is. The succubus is, well, a succubus, she's a complete fucking pervert. She likes to rub her ass on all the things and that, and she's like really attractive and hot and that. And so like, she's all sitting there doing all these things and that, and the daughter of the demon lord is very submissive, very argumentative, but she really likes this guy. She likes that he's always trying to save her and that, he does save her and that, and instead of like giving in to the whole like thing that the succubus wants him to do, because when people get sexually closer, they actually honestly do get stronger. That's the whole point of it. So, and like, she's always an asshole towards him, but deep inside, she like is in love with him. I'm like, if you're in love with him, why the fuck you treat him like shit? Well, yeah, it's always the same shit with women. That's like, you treat a guy like shit, you really fucking liking that, and then you wonder why the guy stopped liking you. It's like, I don't understand it myself. It's like, I'll have women that say they don't like me though, and then out of nowhere, they'll start like trying to get closer to me. They'll start to like wanting to like talk to me more, and then, you know, they want to get aroused more, and all of a sudden they're like, you got a train of thought that it's like, well, you're not that bad of a person. I'm like, why? Like, what the fuck's wrong with you? Is this how women actually work? Yeah, women work in this way. They don't. There was one line on this anime I'm watching that, and it made perfect fucking sense. So the succubus was doing a dating thing, and like, and she was trying to help him learn how women work. And she said, women always put up this protective thing, they act like they're all nice and pure, but as soon as you break that little wall down, they are the freakiest people in the sheets. I said, yeah, because it's an emotional wall that they put up in that. And when when guys really get to know that woman, that sometimes they'll fight back with that emotional wall. But when you shatter it completely, they give up sex immediately. Especially if they're really fucking like attracted to you and they're very emotional just towards you. That means they really fucking like you. Because they argue with you more, they're assholes towards you more than that. I don't know why women do this shit. Not all women do this, but some of these women do. Because they're, I guess, complex or psychopaths or whatever. They're gonna be like that. But truthfully, they really, really fucking like you. They just don't know how to be easily expressed. Because women don't easily express. They're outrageous emotional express. And you can treat a woman completely like shit, and they'll always come back, and they'll always want to be with you because they're obsessed with you. That's why you don't have sex with and pleasure a woman too much, because they'll remember that, and they'll always be clinged on to you for the rest of your fucking life. That's just how it is. It's just like with men that sometimes men get really clinged on. Like, I am clinged on to my ex a little bit because it still just happened this year. And it's almost, been like, I don't know, 6, 7, going on 7 months. And, yeah, I still remember all the stuff that we did that was no nice. Of course. That's why we should have stayed together. We should have done things, should have got closer, and that would never happen. That's how it is. So if people have boyfriends and that, you should stay with your boyfriend. You shouldn't leave them because the society tells you to leave people because they have to be this tall. Their dicks have to be this big. And a lot of these guys are gonna find normal, like, honorable women. They're gonna take them up in a heartbeat while you're sitting there in your late 30s, early 40s, not crying if you don't have a fucking man. You're like, oh my god, I don't have a man. It's because you're a bitch. And now you're desperate as fuck. I know a lot of girls my age. They're desperate, like massively fucking desperate. Feel like no one likes me much anymore. That's because you're old, and it's not because you're not pretty. And I know a lot of really attractive 30, 40-year-old women I see at the gym. They're fine as fuck. It's your fucking attitude. Guys hate nagging fucking women. And no offense to even that. Jesus specifically said it himself that he doesn't want someone being with that nagging woman. The word of God said. So if God's saying it, it's probably more or less likely true. Because no one likes a nagging. Oh my god, my life's so bad. And when they get everything they want, they still bitch. Even Jesus says, probably stay away from that person because they're fucking retarded. Of course, Jesus didn't say that specifically. I'm putting my own perspective on it. But he says they are fools. They're wicked. But he said they're fool people and that. They're foolish people. If you're happy in a marriage, stay in a marriage. Be happy. Fight against the devil. The devil doesn't want you to be married because that holy communion is what the devil hates the most. He doesn't like it because when people are still in their holy communion, when they still stay as one, they're closer to God than people that are not with another. No, that's how it is, but no. But sometimes he says, if someone, something happens and someone loses their wife or loses their husband, that sometimes it's best, you can remarry if you want to, but sometimes it's best just to be alone. It's all about having faith with God. So all these little things that happen in life and that, the demons want to separate you from people that you really fucking like. They don't want you to like that person. They want you to hate on that person. That's why the emotional wall is there for a reason. People bring up the emotional wall so high, they only let so many people in. But like when things don't fit that fictional reality bubble that they like to put themselves into, the fantasy bubble that most females tend to do, especially feminist females. They want to think a guy should be all this specific way. It's like they plan this shit. I'll say, plan out what? The perfect man. Okay, well, if I say I want a perfect woman, you're definitely far from perfect. Yeah, I want a chick with a double D, big old booty, I want her to have like the pretty face and that. She could smile, lights up the sky and that. She's cool to walk around with and that. She's fun to be with and that. She's never nagging at me. She understands me. Understanding a man is very, very easy now. She knows how to treat me right and that. She cooks me fucking dinner and shit. She cooks me food and that. You know, and vice versa. You know, I give her love. I rub her feet. I massage her back. I do all the necessary things to make life easier for her as she makes life easier for me. And then, you know, she sits there and empties my balls every day. And she has the pleasure of doing it because she actually likes to do it. These are the things that women need to know. It's pretty fucking easy to satisfy. If you do that with a man, man, men will do a lot of things, but when you start the distrusting and your attitude's bad, this is where the problem comes in. Let's talk about this. How my ex kind of started this stuff. She started stuff very nicely. She tried to be as girlfriend like as she can. She put her heart into things. That's what made me kind of fall for her. But her attitude towards men altogether, not the men that she's fucking, just men altogether. She treated a lot of men like complete shit. She's like, people disrespect these women. I'm like, people disrespect everybody. But your attitude, you have a negative attitude, and that's what they're looking at, and that's what people actually don't like. You're saying they're being disrespectful? Well, your negativeness is disrespectful. You know, and she was always fighting against her femininity. I'm like, you're a very attractive woman. Act like a fucking woman. Stop acting like a dude. Stop walking around banging your chest around that. I'm like, these are the biggest problems I've noticed with a lot of women. They act so fucking masculine. Like, masculinity for a woman doesn't make sense because you don't have cock and balls. You're not supposed to be masculine. You're not supposed to be masculine at all. That makes no fucking sense. But for some reason, you keep on doing that shit. Okay, time to go. But yeah, like, I try to understand this stuff with people, and that I'm just like people do things to themselves, and they don't think that they do. Like, you do all that shit to yourself. You're the one that does it. And you're the first one to get fucking mad at people because they call it out. I called out my ex, like, you have to stop being so negative. Like, well, people need to do this. Like, people don't need to do anything. It's up for you to do it. This is the biggest problem. You want everyone else to submit to you. And the thing is, you submit to your fucking self, and you do things based upon yourself, but you are not. You're sitting there being massively fucking ignorant towards people and that because you assume that people are just such bad fucking people and that because they don't exist in the world that you fucking exist in. All that negative thinking that, you know, you got a perfectly fine man that's with you that you're like super attracted to. You basically want to fucking have sex with him one time. But he's doing everything he can to make your life better. Giving you money for bills and that, doing the stuff and that. I mean, what more can a man do other than help pay for things and that, like we're supposed to? And like, I never understood it. And yeah, this is why life is so fucking pointless sometimes when it comes down to dating. No one fucking fully actually respects anyone. Hey, I'm gonna fuck out of here. God bless. Keep Jesus in your heart and that. Read the word. Go through Psalms. Go through Proverbs now. You learn a lot of Proverbs. You learn 9 things. You do everybody good.